Freaking out, man. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What do all men in power want? More power.
My name is Luca Zanna. I was an Italian by birth, and I became an American by choice. Our lives and freedoms are in danger. This is not a dream. If you're listening to this broadcasting, you are the resistance.
All systems go.
Welcome to Love, Guns, and Freedom.
We're not afraid.
Here we go. Another Sunday, another show. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM and on UnitedStates.fm network. As you know, my dear friends, the purpose of the show, it is not to entertain. I'm not here to try to make you feel fuzzy or funny or whatever. I'm just here desperately, and I said desperately, trying to warn my fellow Americans that we are pretty much the last minute before midnight. And I'm not trying to be dramatic. The sovereignty of this country is pretty much at the last moments. I mean, we are almost completely under global government. Our freedoms, and not just today with Obama, but the last, for sure, 30 years, they've been eroded, destroyed. And we are living a new America, and I'm very concerned. I mean, this is something, all I can do here with my little show here, try to warn you up, that we must do something. We must inform ourselves. We cannot ignore things that they happen in front of our eyes. We got to do it for ourselves, for America, and for the next generation. The TPP, something that I didn't really touch very much, and I feel bad about it. Trans Pacific Partnership, TPP, is something so vital that it's happening right now in front of our eyes that we must do something. And people want to say, you know, look, after all, we're talking about love, guns, and freedom, this show. What's that to do with this with freedom? It has everything to do with freedom. It's everything to do about our Bill of Rights, our Constitution. If we're still living in America that is under rule of law, pretty much with elected representatives that we elect, or with just some international bureaucrats. But I'm just a regular guy with an accent, and I wanted to find somebody that really knows how to articulate this nightmare that we are facing of the TPP. His name is Josh Bernstein, and is a great radio host down in Phoenix, Arizona. Josh, are you there?
I am. Great to be with you.
Thank you, my friend. And, please introduce yourself. You're a guy that does the radio pretty professionally, and you're great out there. Tell us a little bit of what you are, what you do.
Sure. I'm a top-rated radio talk show host, TopTalkRadio.com's list of top 100 in the country. Proud to be on that list. Rush Limbaugh's number 1 on that list. I'm number 98 on the list, but hey, at least I made the list.
Great.
I'm also a national spokesman for the Association for Mature American Citizens. We are the conservative alternative to groups like AARP. Mm-hmm. We basically deal with seniors 50 years of age and older, and we provide them with health insurance as far as benefit plans, different things as far as travel discounts, kind of like the same things that AARP does. The only difference is that we didn't exempt our members from Obamacare and $8 billion in lobbying to have it passed. So there's a big difference there. And everything that we do is based on limited government and what's best for our members. We answer to our members, and we're very proud of that. If you want to learn more about that, you can go to www.amac.us. That's www.amac.us. It's only $16 a year to join.
Wow.
So that's what I do. I also am a political commentator on their behalf as far as radio and television. I just was on television yesterday, as a matter of fact, 2 days ago, on Newsmax television, where I had the privilege and opportunity to call out Michelle Obama for being a racist on national television. So
and I completely agree with you.
That was a wonderful thing to do.
She's a racist. Perfect. Now, please go ahead. This is great because I heard that you have a great show about different topics. But one of the things you did best the last few days was, for me, articulating, explaining this TPP. What is exactly the TPP, Trans Pacific Partnership? Why is it so dangerous? What is this?
Well, the reason it's so dangerous is because it's not just a trade agreement. It will actually intertwine all factions of the economy and our own rights as American citizens. It is basically Obama trade, which is what I've been calling it because you have to pass it to find out what's in it. The Trans Pacific Partnership is basically NAFTA on Jose Canseco type steroids.
Wow.
Okay? It's a secretive trade agreement being negotiated by the Obama administration without congressional insight and or oversight. Put it this way, it is so secretive that it is being held under lock and key in the U.S. Capitol basement.
Oh my
and
gosh.
if anybody wants to take the time to go and look at it and read it, they actually are having their cell phones confiscated, and any notes that they take on the way out are also being confiscated. I mean, look, is this North Korea? Is this Communist China? Is this Stalinist Russia? It's amazing to me that the Republicans are putting up with this type of behavior from this administration, from this tyrant in the White House. Now, let's go into what the details of this thing is. So far, there are 12 participants: the United States, Vietnam, the Sultan of Brunei, Singapore, Chile, Malaysia, New Zealand, Australia, Japan, Canada, Mexico, and Peru. Now, Obama Trade would submit, this is probably the most important part of this, Obama Trade would submit the U.S. to the jurisdiction of international tribunals established under the auspices of the United Nations.
Wow.
Okay? These tribunals would then supersede the U.S. Constitution, supersede the U.S. Supreme Court's previous and future decisions, and overrule any federal court's rulings.
Oh my gosh.
Okay? Now, Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution gives Congress the sole power to regulate commerce and trade with foreign nations, okay? And not the executive. So once again, as he's done with executive amnesty, which is illegal, he doesn't have the authority to do that either. He's now taking the authority and using it to negotiate trade and foreign nation deals. Now, what's interesting about this is that the Republicans are totally on board with giving this president even more of their power.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
If they wanted to, they could stop this. We would have that stopgap of, having the legislative and judicial branches being able to stop the executive. That's what we voted in November of 2014, but clearly we have not seen, take any action. So what Mitch McConnell is planning on giving Barack Obama is what's known as Trade Promotion Authority. Now, if you think back to his pseudo-populist State of the Union address earlier this year, one of the things that he said in about the 26th minute was, that's why I'm asking Congress to give me trade promotion authority so that I can level the playing field in negotiations, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
99% of Americans didn't even hear it. And the 1% that may have heard it probably didn't know what he was even talking about. Mm-hmm. But what he was talking about is basically usurping the power of the legislative branch and handing it over on a silver platter to the executive. Okay, and that's what this Trade Promotion Authority is. Now, what's worse is that this is being negotiated not as a trade agreement. It's being negotiated as simple legislation, which basically means that it only needs a 51-vote majority to pass. It doesn't need the full, two-thirds ratification in order to become, a treaty.
Yeah.
So they're doing it purposely as simple legislation so that it's only a 51-vote majority, which then in turn violates not only the Constitution but also the advise and consent prerogatives of the U.S. Senate. Now, let's get into the gory details. There's a lot of people out there that say, TPP is bad and but I don't know why. And, well, what's bad about it? Well, I'm not sure. I just know it's secretive and nobody knows any information on it. Well, I can tell you because of my position in the media, I know people that have read it, and that's why I have the information that I do. Now, I want to take you into some of the gory details here. Let's talk about the reasons the left are against it and the right are against it. They're against it for different reasons. Okay, the left doesn't care about the fact that it's going to open the floodgates for immigration. Okay, the left doesn't care about the fact that it's going to, mesh us with Sharia law abiding countries. Okay, the left doesn't care about the fact that it's going to take over the internet and have more content control. What they care about is the economy somewhat, but more importantly, the environment. Okay, and the reason I say that is because it will actually make it easier for outside companies to skirt environmental laws and issues that normally American companies right now have to, abide by. And so the left is upset that, the environment will be damaged by having this agreement. So again, I hate to say this, this is an opportunity for us to actually work with the far left to help defeat this.
Yes.
Because this is not a right issue, a left issue. This is an American issue.
Exactly.
And like I said earlier, it has a lot to do with the sovereignty as we're giving away more and more sovereignty. Now, let's talk about religious freedom, okay? This agreement would merge our economy, our customs, our principles with nations that practice Sharia law. All right? These countries persecute Christians, they persecute Jews, other non-Muslims. I'll give you for instance. One of the countries that we would be signing agreements with in early 2014 became a country that now practices Sharia law. I'm talking about the Islamic Sultanate of Brunei.
Wow.
Okay, what they did in 2014 is they changed their government over to Sharia law. Not only that, as soon as that happened last December, they ordered all Christian businesses to remove decorations, for Christian business-owned businesses, to remove decorations, anything with Christmas lights, and basically identified them as being Christian-owned businesses, okay? Let's talk about what happens in Vietnam, where they've destroyed Christian churches. They've removed Bibles from people forcefully. They've done the same thing in Malaysia. We've seen what just happened here recently with Malaysia and the disappearing jets. These are countries that practice Sharia law. Now, it'll affect us economically because with Sharia law, you can't charge interest. So therefore, there's going to be another disadvantage financially for the American businesses that are part of this agreement. Now, let's talk about the economy. Obama trade would empower foreign companies to use foreign tribunals. Remember the tribunals that I said would be set up?
Yes.
They would be able to enforce special privileges only available to them. And here's where, again, the left is upset. It would exempt foreign companies from EPA and other standards, even whereas American companies would still be forced to comply with, giving American companies a competitive disadvantage. Also, foreign companies under this agreement would be allowed to litigate American companies for costs associated with government regulations, something that American and other American-owned companies simply cannot do. Right now, there are about 700 foreign corporations and businesses now operating in the United States that would be empowered to skirt our courts and instead drag U.S. companies before this new UN-governed tribunal in order to make those U.S. companies comply with their rules.
Yes, and I would like to say something, Josh. This is so important, and I really beg the listeners out there to pay attention, because this could be probably one of the most critical moments of our generation as Americans. This is happening under our watch. I know that unfortunately the Senate, and this is nothing new to me. I despise every Republican out there that voted for this sham, and I know how many Republicans vote for this. Every one of them, or few, did not vote for it. What do you know?
Well, I know that 65 senators, voted to bring this up for a vote, basically. So in other words, they voted to bring it up to an up or down vote, encloture, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And that's scary because when you think about it, as I said earlier, you only need 51 to make it pass, and yet 65.
Wow.
65 of them voted to bring them, to bring it up for a vote. Now, granted, even if we have 6 or 7 that are now going to vote against it in the end, it's still not enough.
No,
I mean, you're not going to get all 15 or 16, whatever the number is, to vote against it just because they voted to bring it up for a vote. See, that's where I disagree with the way politics are in Washington, because a lot of these people, like, for instance, even a Jeff Sessions, who's been excellent, one of the best senators out there, and Ted Cruz and some of these others out there, a lot of these folks, they realize that if they vote for bringing it into what's known as an up or down vote, the ability to bring it up for a vote, then that's doing their civic duty or their constitutional duty. Well, I would say that it's not, because if you know for a fact that the bill is anti-American, it's going to flood immigration, it's going to ruin the economy, why would you even vote for it to begin with?
Exactly.
See, that would be my question.
Exactly.
And if you look at history, you'll notice that votes that come out of cloture and go up for an up or down vote, they have a very high percentage of passing. Why? Very simple. Because if there's teetering senators that are thinking no, and we're putting the pressure on them by calling our senators and Congress and faxing and emailing and doing all the civic active duty things that we're doing, they're going to get some pressure, and there's going to be some that are teetering. So what's going to happen is the leadership is then going to say, well, I tell you what, I'll throw in this for your district, and I'll throw in a new rec center over here, and you remember that thing that you wanted to get, passed for your city 10 years ago? Well, I'll tell you what, if we can earn your vote, we'll give you that.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with Obamacare.
Exactly.
Obamacare was teetering on not being able to pass, and what happened? You had the Louisiana Purchase. You had the Cornhusker kickback.
Yeah.
You had all these things. And that's what happens, and that's what's so scary about this.
I would like to say something, Josh. First of all, thank you, because this is so vital information. And at this point, I want to say something for everybody there, left, right. I don't care. I'm no party. I'm just a guy that committed myself to become an American, and I really believe every one of us now, we should do something. I know that pretty much we are right now ready for a vote. Maybe our phone calls may be a waste. I don't care. We have the moral duty, in my opinion, to jump on that phone. And really much this time is no more be civil. I say scream. Don't say anything that could be, you don't want to, we don't cross the line. We are law-abiding people. We don't threat people with violence. But I tell you, scream is still part of our First Amendment. Think about somebody's raping your mother, and this mother is called America in this case. They are raping it, okay? They are destroying it, destroying the future of your children. Make us live with this new world order, because that's the bottom line, Josh. They are creating this global government. And the global government wasn't just started with Obama. They started a long time ago, the Bushes, and before, and then the Clinton, and everything else is a continuous plan. And I say, Mitch McConnell, you are a filthy rat. I hope you can hear me, because you are the disgrace of every party. I wish you just say you go in bed with Obama at night and you have an orgy. At least we're happy, you're honest. Because this is disgusting. That's why people like Mitch McConnell, that's why I burn my Republican card. I'm disgusted. Now, guys, we need to put aside our differences. We must unite as Americans. I don't care which party you are. This is bad for everybody. What can we do besides screaming on the phone to these bastards in Washington? They're selling us out to the river. What can we do, Josh?
Well, first of all, we could bombard Mitch McConnell's office with phone calls.
Yes.
And contact him, and I have the numbers here. Give me 1 second. I'll
Please
give them to you guys.
Jesus, I'm so mad.
Well, I can tell you right now that the U.S. Capitol is 202-224-3121. 202-224-3121. You can also go to a website, which is www.obamatrade.com, all one word, obamatrade.com, and learn more about this, of course. And then I'm trying to find some phone numbers. Let me see here. Looking through my stack of papers.
I got Mitch McConnell if you want to. Let me know if you have it. Otherwise, I can give it to you.
Yeah, go ahead and give it while I'm looking for it.
Okay.
Because,
for example, we have two offices. The office in Kentucky and the one in Washington. I said let's go straight to the Washington.
Here it is.
Okay, go ahead.
I got it.
Go ahead.
It's 202-224-2541. That's his Washington office. His Louisville office is 502-582-6304. His Lexington office is 859-224-8286. His Bowling Green office is 270-781-1673.
Perfect. And
Call those offices, call the National Senate office, and tell them not to give Barack Obama trade promotion authority. And then if you're in other states and you want to get more active, contact your representatives in your states as well. And more importantly, reach out to people and let them know what is going on and what is about to go on with this trade agreement. You know, I want to say one other thing. It's amazing to me that we have an Italian immigrant, with more passion and more love and more patriotism for his adopted home country than some of the people there that are in this country now that are too busy going to the malls and shopping and tuning out the destruction of our country. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being the type of immigrant that cares about America.
Thank you, Josh. You know, I tell you something, I do this also for selfish reason. You know, I've been around the world before I came to America, and I wanted to come to America since I was a child, okay? But I wanted to give myself an open mind, you know, I wanted to really test, let's see around the world what's going on. And I'm telling you, even with all the problems that we still have, with the imperfections, you know, things we can improve, there is no place around the world, even now under this bastard called Barack Hussein Obama that destroying us completely the last 6 years, there is still no place I would change and I would give my life to live in. So America is still the last Alamo of freedom, even pretty much now we are under attack every day. And our freedom is destroyed, but we can take it back. We have the duty to take it back. There is no other option. There is no place to run. So I'm here standing with you, my friend, and I call you brother in freedom. And even I never met you, I really respect what you're doing. And now what I say, because I want to say seriously, guys, if you're a Republican out there and you still have the card, this is the time really you wake up. You've been sold out. Okay, listen to the voice of this filthy rat, Mitch McConnell, says Obama has done an excellent job pushing trade deal, because maybe you believe that you think we're just crazy here and we just try to bash Republicans, you know. This guy is a sold out. Like the Democrats, they're sold out to themselves, okay? If you're a worker out there, you work for a living in some factory, this TPP is going to destroy your jobs. They're going to be shipped down overseas more than ever. Listen to this 1 second only, because this is so bad. This is so bad that I'm freaking out today. Normally I don't get so emotional, I'm telling you. And the reason why, because if I had a time machine and I would go back in time, I would see this, what's going on right now. We had a chance to stop it, and we have to do something. Otherwise, it's going to be so bad. Listen to this. This is Mitch
I'd like to thank the president, too. No, you're not hearing things. President Obama has done his country a service by taking on his base and pushing back on some of the more ridiculous rhetoric we've heard.
And there's the Senate Majority Leader this Thursday, Mitch McConnell. He joins us live right now. Mr. Leader, thank you for joining us. This morning, this is the president's top legislative priority right now, this trade promotion authority. You appear to be his point man in the Senate. What's it going to take to get it passed, and are you confident it will?
Yeah, we'll pass it. We'll pass it later this week. The president's done an excellent job on this. I point out to my members who are somewhat squeamish, as you can imagine, by giving the president a power on any issue, given his expansive view of his powers on so many other issues, that this is a trade promotion authority not just for President Obama, but for the next president as well. This is
Josh, you heard him, right?
Again, for the next president as well. So in other words, I don't care that we have a socialist, communist, Muslim, jihadist in chief in the White House.
Exactly.
Hopefully we're going to get a real conservative in 2016, and we want to make sure that he has the ability to take us to the globalists as well. That's the interpretation of his exact words.
Exactly.
Okay? He's a globalist. He's not a Republican. He's not a Democrat. He's not an independent. He's a globalist. He's an Agenda 21 worshiper. And he just said it right then and there, and I'm pointing that out for your listeners because you need to understand the language, the vernacular of what is being said to you, and be able to see through the leaves, through the trees, as they say, and see what the true meaning is.
Josh, I love you, my friend. I'm gonna call right now. I since I'm so pissed off right now, I gotta really use this rage in a positive, productive
Well, if
way.
you've ever heard my show, then you would know that I have the subtleness of a sledgehammer, and I do my show in a very hard-hitting fashion, as you could imagine. Very professional, of course, but very hard-hitting. Not a Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity type, more of a Mark Levin, Michael Savage. And if you folks out there want to find more, you can go to Josh Bernstein, radio talk show host on Google. You'll find probably 6, 7, 8 pages for me. Or you can go to my website, which is joshbernsteinpoliticalwriter.com. Or you can go to starworldwidenetworks.com. You can find me all over the place. The best thing to do is just Google Josh Bernstein radio talk show host.
And I will post on today's show, on the page of today's show, a link directly to your website. So all the listeners can go there and support you and help you out listening to you. Thank you, Josh. Let me call this Mitch McConnell's office, okay? Thank you very much.
Hey, you got it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm calling the office of Senator Mitch McConnell.
Thank you for calling Senator McConnell's Washington, D.C. office. If you're calling between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are currently experiencing a high volume of calls. If you're calling before 8:30 a.m. or after 6 p.m., our office is closed. Please visit our website at mcconnell.senate.gov.
There we go. They don't even talk to us. They treat us like slaves, pretty much the phone. Talk to your representative. It's just an illusion. The guy, he talked directly to these masters, the globalist internationalist banker. But, let's do that. Let's make another phone call. Maybe we can get some other office. Let's see the one in, let's see an office in Louisville office in Kentucky. Okay, maybe we get luckier there. Okay, I know that pretty much it's going to be almost impossible to call D.C. District of Criminals. It's kind of out of control. They don't even care to answer to the phone. But let's see this office now. I'm calling now the office of the piece of trader, sold out, Obama's loving, New World Order puppet of Senator Mitch McConnell. Let's see if they answer. Hello?
Good afternoon, Senator Mitch McConnell's office.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Luca Zanna. I'm from the radio show Love, Guns, and Freedom out of Mojave County, Arizona. How are you there?
I'm doing well. How can I help you, sir?
Are you a robot or you a person, first of all?
I'm sorry?
Are you a person, right? I mean, are you a real person?
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Good. I'm a former Republican, and 6 months ago, pretty much, I had to burn my Republican registration card because of Senator like Mitch McConnell. I wanted just to say a message from the bottom of my heart to Senator McConnell. Are you familiar with the TPP?
Sir, if you're wanting to leave a comment, you've reached the state office. We handle casework, constituent casework. So if you could, if you want to,
I need to give
to pass a message.
Yeah, pass a message to that Senator Mitch McConnell. Must be a special place in hell for traitors like him. And
I'll let him know, sir.
Let them know. And the New World Order will never prevail. We, America, will take it back. Long live to the Republic. That's the message. Scumbags.
We're not afraid. You work for us. We're not your slaves. Don't tread on us. You crossed the line. Soon you will pay for all your crimes. After a long train of abusive and dissipation.
He's a songwriter, a poet, a rifleman.
I'm not afraid.
And a constitutional activist.
I'm not afraid.
Italian by birth.
I'm not afraid.
American by choice. Luca Zanna.
I'm not afraid.
And his new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom. 16 powerful songs on one CD from the heart of a patriot. For download or to order the CD, go to www.lovegunsfreedom.com. That's www.lovegunsfreedom.com. Lyrics for your mind, music for your heart. Luca Zanna's new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom.